Welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Last time, we went over Fogato's party crew, and this time we're going to be heading out to a paralogue, Arena of the Gods. I was going to say it's our first paralogue. It's not really, but it's our first paralogue of this type. So, before I get into these, I want to explain something about the suggested level of these emblem paralogs. Because sometimes there's a big difference between the level at which you can do them and the level at which you should. This one unlocks right after Chapter 11, but suggested level is base class level 19. Now, if we look at the next chapter that we need to go to, the Oasis Village, this one only has a suggested level of base class 15. This shows that the Arena of the Gods is significantly more difficult than that. Also, the Plains of Swift Winds is also roughly the same difficulty. However, the Arena of the Gods has very few enemies on it, so I recommend doing this one fairly early. This one, however, is a lot bigger and more involved, and I do recommend putting this off for maybe a little longer. There are definite benefits to doing these as soon as you can, though, because, I'll just say it right here, they unlock more potential from your emblems. And this one is going to unlock more potential from the Exalt Princess, so let's go. Paralogue, the Exalt.
What is this place, Lucina? I feel a magical power here.
Okay, so the outfit does transfer to cutscenes. That might make things a little bit awkward.
This appears very similar to Arena Ferox. Most curious.
I still love the fact that Arena Ferox got into Smash Brothers, and I also love the fact that via Ultimate, we can actually play it outside of a portable system. First Smash Bros. Fire Emblem stage to actually be based on a real location from the series, too. I was always personally hoping for the Tower of Guidance from Radiant Dawn to be a Smash stage, but still.
Ferox? That's a place from your world, right?
Yeah, I remember that Ferox was, like, failure in the Japanese version, so I guess they changed it because they wanted it to sound more tough for a warrior kingdom.
Yes. Ferox is a kingdom divided by east and west, with a militaristic Khan overseeing each.
Khans that I can't ship even though I really want to.
Every so many years, a fighting tournament is held to determine which Khan will rule them all.
And canonically, Lucina fought Long Ku a little earlier than we fought her, and he instantly freaked out because he realized she was a woman. Yeah, I don't think that's ever really talked about in-game. I think there was like an official short story on like the Old Awakening Japanese website about that.
Arena Ferox is where I cross swords with my father.
Oh yeah, I believe she can potentially kill Chrom in this map too, which is kind of weird.
He taught you swordsmanship, yes? It must have been an interesting, if fierce, bout.
And that's without Captain Falcon getting involved.
Yes, it was a hard fight. He had no idea who I was and held nothing back. He'd trained me well, but that fight was when I first saw just how strong my father really was. That must be precisely why this familiar place was chosen as a trial ground.
Trial ground? What does that mean?
We each feel the extraordinary power here. Tell me what it feels like deep down.
It's almost like I'm sensing your power, but also like you're far away.
Well then, draw your weapon. Fight me. If you pass the trial, our bond will grow stronger.
And if you fail the trial, you will die. So here's a weird thing about the way emblem trials work. Unlike training skirmishes, your characters can actually die in these on classic mode, and for some reason the emblems are totally fine with that.
With a stronger bond, you will be able to draw upon more of my power as an emblem.
I hope I can learn as much in this arena as you did.
That's good to hear. However, it's going to require more than hope for you to win this battle.
After all, that never dies, and you will die if I beat you.
You're going to be surprised if you think I'm only bringing hope to this fight.
Actually, that's a really great line.
That's the spirit.
And, yeah, we only get access to 6 characters for this, including Alear, so you need to be pretty careful about who you choose here, and I do believe I want to bring, yeah, we've got Pandreo, Bunet, and, Fogato here. Oh, I'm sorry, we've got, Pandreo, Fogato, and person who doesn't exist here. I want to bring Amber to this. I really want to show off his newfound warrior power. I didn't really use Lapis last time either, and she's a backup, which might be useful against the boss. And I'll choose my other characters when I check the map here, because we have, we're fighting trees, just like with Lumera, fabrications. So yeah, these are some pretty strong warriors. And we also have some, they're mages, they're not sages. But yeah, Thoron. Just like other Thunder Tomes, this can't follow up. Oh, this one's a Sage. The other one's only a Mage. That's weird. But they hit from 3 range, and they do a lot of damage. Also, we've got a guy here with a Tomahawk. I believe one of them... No, okay, I thought that at least one of them would have a Great Axe, but no, just Tomahawks. We also have a couple of Generals. Okay, one of them does have a Gruntlance. And then we have Lucina herself, who appears to be a bow user here, but not really. Because her actual class is considered sword. And yeah, emblems, so yeah, you'll see here that emblems actually have like their own personal classes and stats. These are actually how fighting emblems in the arena is calculated. Of course, they have different stats in the arena than they do here, but yeah, and they're using their engaged weapons. Internally, these are actually considered completely separate weapons from their engaged weapons. They're just grey-coloured, but I think they have the same stats. Also, we don't really know what the parallel Falchion is yet, but we'll be seeing that soon. And yeah, she has Dual Strike, but she's already a backup unit, so it doesn't really matter. Dual Assist plus Dual Support, which is new, and Bonded Shield and All for One. So we don't really want her to engage in combat alongside a lot of allies. A Royal Heir who knows anything can change and will not yield to despair. Oh hey, anything can change. They are actually referencing Crom's crit quote. But yeah, funny thing is that on Maddening, Lucina has an extra health bar. But here she just has 2. Yeah, look at all of these swirls of dead people. Well, Anna would be another backup unit. And I guess I can bring Alcris too. This party is a bit light on healers, but, well, time to show Aaliyah's newfound healing powers. A good mage is something I would highly recommend, especially given that there are some big clingies here besides Lucina. And yes, your Lucina ring is automatically unequipped when you start this paralogue, so remember to give Lucina's user something else. I think I'll just go back to the Alphonse ring. And since I'm not bringing Jean, Clan can take back Olwen. And since, sadly, I'm not using Fogado, it'd be cool if I was, but I like his character, but I'm using enough bow users, I think. I can switch over the Silver Bow to actually, he probably should take the Killer Bow too. Also, speaking of Alchrist, I've said before in Lynn's bio, but I'll say it again, a lot of these paralogs can be cheesed by using Astra Storm to aggro the emblem on the first turn. If you do that, Lucina will then charge right at you, and you can quickly mob and take her down. But okay, I think we're ready to roll out.
Don't hold back. Strengthen our bond. Fight with everything you've got.
We must strengthen our friendship, or die! This would be Destiny. So yeah, every map theme against the Emblem paralogs is based on an actual map theme from the Emblem's original game. This one's a medley. Most of them are.
Here comes Amber!
Okay then, I can either go for the crazy Killer Axe crit combo, or I can try and show this off. So, my initial plan here is to try and do a chain guard here.
Any customers?
Oh, there certainly will be customers. That Silver Axe is still going to hit Lapis pretty hard if I move her into range initially. You might notice those suspiciously placed stairs too. Yeah, there are reinforcements in this map. They won't spawn until Lucina is aggroed.
For the Divine Dragon.
But yeah, usually in this map you just want to stick together. I like keeping to small squads of 3. So that's what Amber can do with forged great weapons. Straight up one shot right there. Oh, wow, okay, if Lapis did not get lucky with her defense growth earlier on in the playthrough, she would have been instantly dead there. Yeah, do not underestimate these paralogs, especially considering that there is a Thoron mage up there. Although, I can actually use my Dire Thunder on you and still take a lot. Yeah, so the theme of this map is the enemies here hit insanely hard, even though there are few of them. So yeah, they may be few in number, but they are vast in strength. Let's see if I can get a Radiant Bow hit on you. That might be a little better, just to guarantee this takedown. Oh, wow, okay. Well, that was definitely not a guaranteed takedown. I actually think I need to Astral Storm that Sage now.
Emblem, engage!
So, I'm going to go right for the Astral Storm, obviously using the Silver Bow, and yeah, that takes you down. Nice.
Now I have you.
That means I can save Clan for someone else. Yeah, the arrangement of the battle theme doesn't sound anything like Destiny Ablaze.
Get stronger until no one can beat me.
But, like, in a good way. And, well, there's our first speed taker. Another theme with Emblem Paralogs is enemies will often carry gold. Yeah, well, you sounded genuinely in pain there. How about, in that case, Clan instead smacks you with 11 sword and... yeah, Clan's HP is a little worrying.
This should do it.
Phew.
I mean, I wanted to use Clan because his level was lower than the others, but technically he's actually around the same level because I promoted him later. I believe that attack missed, so Aaliyah didn't even need to Chain Guard. Oh, that's El Thunder. Wait, I gave you a longbow, didn't I? Huh. I can counter Thunder with this longbow. I mean, I doubt it's going to really be a huge, do a huge amount of damage, but like, I mean, actually, you're going to get doubled. You don't have a lot of defense. What's your crit rate like, though? 6. I think Amber's luck is okay. Well, yeah, actually, his luck is pretty good. Probably don't even need to use a Leer here, but I do really, really want to heal Lapis. Yeah, I do kind of like the fact that because this area is so small, my two groups can quite easily meet up together when they need to.
Hey, thanks.
Aaliyah is not the greatest healer in the world, but at least using Staves is going to give him more support points with people. I mean, I would say that, but then, you know, gaining support points from battle is kind of hard in this game. And, okay, that's still a lot of damage.
I won? I won!
Thankfully, I should have an opportunity to heal up a bit before... Oh, wait, nope. The two Clingies are moving in. Two Clingies moving in, okay. Here's the problem, though. If Aaliyah chain guards, then he can't heal. If I do this, am I in range of... I don't think I'm in range of anything. Okay, so I can just straight up blast this guy apart. That sounds kind of brutal, but at the same time, they are just fabrication, so I don't really need to feel bad about being violent to them. Yeah, electric guitar, too, which you don't really get to hear much of in Awakening soundtrack. So I like these new spins on old themes. Like, this is actually probably up there. Like, I've got kind of a personal tier list ranking of all of the different. Oh, I probably should use call doubles next turn. They'll only last for like one turn, but still, of like all of the paralog themes. And this one's, I guess, kind of up there. Probably not like my absolute favorite, but it's still pretty good. Oh, right, that's a Great Lance. Interesting. I think that actually means that if, you attack me first, then I still strike you first, even with my Great Weapon. But it would also be really fun to show this off. And, Lapis probably also needs to heal a little.
Where to?
But also, I would very much like Aaliyah to... Gotta be a little careful that people don't get one-shotted, because, yeah, you have 45 physical attack on his defensive 12, which means 30... That should be 33 3 damage, which is exactly enough to kill him. Okay, good thing I realized that. So I need to either heal Amber or use Chain Guard, and I think I will Chain Guard here. And you just scrounge some potential. Hey, it was experience. Okay, yeah, Anna's magic is definitely averaging out. This is kind of pretty close to how it usually goes. So okay then.
Nothing short of victory.
And that's a shared crit quote with Diamant.
Hope this looks cool.
That's not, though.
That settles it.
Thankfully, Aaliyah didn't have to use up his HP there. Okay, you're moving in now. Lucina's thankfully not moving in just yet. I forget if her behavior changes on Maddening at all. But, like, again, I do know that she has an extra health bar on Maddening. That's not quite you being down. Actually, let's see Lin Killer Bow versus Air. It's a little better, but you can forge the regular Killer Bow, so it does kind of average out in the end. I could bank on all crits getting, well, a trademark all crit. And I don't want to step on that engage spot just yet, because if I do, then I'm going to waste it, because he'll need that next turn. I think I will actually go for this. His accuracy is kind of bad, and I thought for a second he did 30 damage, not 20. Oh yeah, there's Alacrity working. So if I'd crit either of those, then I wouldn't have taken a counterattack there. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to have you go ahead and use your Thunder.
The strength of the stewards.
The other steward is unfortunately not here. I do need to use Fram at some point. And speaking of averaging out, yeah, I do feel like Clan's magic is going to end up dropping off quite a lot. And we have, okay, that's a Tomahawk, so that's a ranged weapon. But Lapis would get broken if she used her ranged option. Can move Anna a little further in.
You got it.
Speaking of ranged options, though, 33 HP, you guys have a lot of... I mean, I could actually just Chain Guard again, though. I mean, I haven't needed to use it yet, but, could help here. So, yeah, let's just go and, Chain Guard. Very soon, Aaliyah will be able to Chain Guard up to 11. Who still has a Vulnerary? Yeah, I've taken away the Vulneraries of a lot of people, but actually, I can pull one out of the convoy. See, I was originally planning on... So, for all of the... Do you even, like, need an Elixir right now? Honestly, maybe. And I don't need that Armor Slayer anymore, because all the armored units are dead. I was originally planning on talking about, like, my thoughts on each of these, like, actual games in these paralogs. Still have not needed Chain Guard.
I won? I won!
But then I realized I already made a whole video on that. It's like my Fire Emblem sort of story and gameplay video. So if you want my thoughts on each individual game in the series, they're briefly there. Instead, I was planning on talking about my general, experiences with every game in the series. And let's see. You've got a lot of speed. You probably double Amber. Chain Guard only blocked the first attack. So, how? Like, the Pathia is incredibly strong, and has 19 crit.
I'm prepared.
So, if you go there, and you equip the Javelin, and now, Aaliyah is probably going to have to rely on Chain Guard at this point. I don't really see Lucina missing. I mean, she could. We'll see. But yeah, my overall experiences with Awakening are really, really interesting. But we're about to fight Lucina, so I might have to get into that a little later. Here she comes.
Watch out!
And yeah, it's just the normal arena battle theme against the emblems, which is a little weird, honestly, but it works. And yeah, here are reinforcements. From everywhere. Thankfully, they're not ambush spawns, which, did Awakening have ambush spawns? I forget if it did. It actually might have on difficulties above normal. But okay then, Lucina's gonna go for all for one. You've got longbows. I should be able to take her down. Like, for example, she has a bow equipped, so, like, I can just smack her with this. Except that's probably a bad thing for now, because it means that she'll get shoved back and I won't be able to chain attack her. I mean, I could... Actually, that's, a lot more damage. But okay, then. I want to show this off. So, I don't even need to, like, move in my warriors and attack. I just need to equip longbows on them without moving them. and I still have their actions available later, but if I do this, look what I've got here. Yeah, I've got 3 times 4, so that's 2 chain attacks from Lapis, along with a chain attack from each of the longbows. I do not think I'm fast enough for Alacrity, though. And yes, Lucina kills me if I do that. Although, I actually could use the mini bow on her, and then she wouldn't be able to counterattack, although I don't actually get, Okay, maybe I should just go for, the longbow here.
I'm sorry you're stuck
With Alchrist, and then that'll get a whole bunch of chain attacks without risking myself at all. Just kind of a fun thing that I like to do sometimes. Oh, well, that was annoying.
Me too.
I like the way that heroes look when they're just using Brave Assist with the javelin, just hucking all these javelins at them. But okay then. Alir can take Lucina down with his bare hands, hopefully.
What's wrong? You won't win just by standing there.
It's funny because bare meat is like a running gag in Awakening.
Your stance has no openings. I don't see how I could hit you, no matter where I strike.
Alir, this dialogue does not work if she's using a bow and you're attacking in melee, just saying.
Doubt will only dull your attacks. Trust in yourself, and come at me with everything.
Understood. Here I come.
Well, firstly, we trust in the power of friendship.
All right.
Get one free.
This is nothing.
You don't disappoint.
Didn't even need to come at her. Getting a lot of experience out of this power log too, which is cool. And, yeah, just for added hilarity points of Amber doing this. So, yeah, this is definitely the true power of Amber right here. Can anyone, does anyone want to take this, though? Maybe a level up? I mean, no, we've actually done pretty well. Okay, before we take down Lucina then, let's go ahead and see if I can. I can take this guy down with fire.
Sort of like that, maybe?
Yes, definitely sort of like that. Anyone else? I mean, technically, Anna can get a little bit shit damage with the longbow.
Me first.
Yeah, imagine how good these chain attacks would be if I also had a dagger used with Lucina so they'd be poisoned. Every single one of those dagger hits would be inflicting a stack of poison. And I guess, technically speaking... Oh, she does have a crit rate, though. Yeah, you know what? I am just gonna go for the straight up. I'm so sorry about this, Lucina, but I don't think she even got to damage us at all. She's actually pretty scary if she does get to hit you, though.
Not done yet.
So strong.
No, not even a defeat quote, okay. Well, I guess the post-chapter dialogue will take care of that. MVP Amber. Yeah, he deserves it. One-shotting one of Lucina's health bars and a warrior. I mean, warriors aren't exactly known for their defense, but still.
I lost. Your combat skills have grown admirably. Compared to when we first met, you've grown strong and become a formidable opponent.
Even though he didn't actually get to attack her. But hey, it shows that his friends are his power, which is exactly how Lucina would want it.
Thank you. It is in no small part because of your guidance, Lucina.
Such kind words. If I helped you at all, then I couldn't be happier. There's a lesson there, you know. What one person can achieve on their own is limited.
Yeah, I was already getting at this.
I agree. I couldn't have come this far by myself. Everything I've accomplished has been thanks to those who have fought beside me.
And chain attacked beside me. A lot.
I'm relieved to hear that. I feel my friends close by even now. Their spirits live on in me.
This is really interesting because I did say before that it's basically canon that the emblems are not the actual people and just sort of spirits with their memories, but this implies that this is kind of like a spirit of Lucina from a point in time when everyone else is dead, I guess? Or maybe she's just talking about the versions of her friends who died in the bad future, but wait, no, they came back in time, they didn't die, so yeah.
Their spirits live on.
The power of my bonds with them helped us to change a hopeless future.
Technically twice, both in the main timeline and in future past.
The same as you are now, with your own allies.
I don't even know if future past is canon, but considering that according to Fates, the Scramble DLCs are canon, I can believe it.
You're one of those allies, Lucina. Aren't you?
Of course. I'll fight with you until the very last.
Then we can't lose, no matter what the world sends our way.
You're right. Our bonds are far stronger than destiny.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's an exact... Is that something... No, wait, I want to say that's something Crom says? It's been a while since I played Awakening. And I'll talk about that in a moment, but for now... The purpose of this paralogue, max bond level unlocked. We can now raise Lucina up to bond level 20. And let's talk about that. The engage skills and engage attacks of emblems don't change above level 10. But their stat boosts can now go even higher. Lucina eventually reaches Dex plus 5, Speed plus 4, and Luck plus 6. At Bond 13, she gains another sync skill, Dual Support, which gives her holder plus 5 Avoid for every support level from adjacent allies, up to a maximum of plus 90 Avoid, and each support counts for a certain number of levels, as shown here. This is particularly good on Alear, who not only supports everyone, but is the only person who can have S supports. At Bond 18, Dual Assist upgrades to Dual Assist Plus, having a double success rate of 70%. This means that, most of the time, enemies within movement range of Lucina's holder, and remember she can be on a cavalry unit or a flyer, essentially have 10% less HP, and that really adds up with how many combats you'll be taking in this game. At Bond 15, Lucina unlocks her final engage weapon, Parallel Falchion, which is effective against dragons, and that has problems that I'll get into later, but is kind of weak for a Bond 15 weapon. I don't find myself using this too often. At levels above 10, both Dual Support and Dual Assist Plus are inheritable. Just remember, there's no reason to inherit Dual Assist or its Plus version on anybody who is not already capable of chain attacks. If you're using Pandreo, Dual Support is kind of hilarious on him. Other than that, Bow Agility eventually gives plus 30 Avoid when using a bow, though it's expensive to get it this high, and she eventually grants Dexterity plus 5. Dual Support and Dual Assist Plus are, I feel, the main reasons to do Lucina's paralogue, but it's available very early and isn't too difficult, so these skills aren't that far out of reach. So, Fire Emblem Awakening. My perspective on that game...
Excellent.
What the heck is Bunei doing here? My perspective on that game is incredible... Well, not is very different to a lot of the fanbase, because it's hard to believe that Awakening is over 10 years old now. In fact, this year, I think it's exactly 10 years old in English. Funny thing was, I was originally going to do a playthrough of the Awakening DLC for, like, the 10th anniversary, because I did promise that I'd do DLC as a separate series for it one day, but with the eShop shutting down, people wouldn't really be able to play alongside me, so I wasn't really sure if that would be exactly the most, the best thing to do.
Yes.
But, by the time Awakening came out, since I started with Fire Emblem 7, which was in 2003...
Hi there.
I'd already been into Fire Emblem for 10 years when Awakening came out. And I remember, like, waiting for Awakening to come out in Japanese, and actually following Awakening in Japanese. In fact, Shadow of Chaos, he did some great videos subtitling the Japanese version of Awakening. Like, he was doing a whole Japanese Awakening Let's Play that ended up getting cancelled, and admittedly, it did get very strange towards the end. He started to focus more on talking to his friend group's avatars over actually playing the game. And it started to become a little bit in-jokey and incomprehensible, but up until that point, I did personally really enjoy it. It kind of inspired my Awakening playthrough, honestly. But, like, we didn't even expect Awakening to be localized, because New Mystery of the Emblem hadn't been.
Thank you.
And so we were all just spoiling ourselves in the Japanese version, and then Awakening came out outside Japan, and I don't think any of us expected the game to, I guess as the kids these days say, pop off the way that it did. Like, I certainly was not expecting as much mainstream success as the game got. I do think that Nintendo did, like, it was the first Fire Emblem Nintendo really took seriously with the marketing, and that paid off immensely. Of course, some will say the only reason it succeeded was because of the waifus and husbandos, and it still kind of bothers me that, like, even the most popular, like, waifu options for male avatars, it's generally, like, about a top 5, whereas for females, it's, like, 99.9999999999999% who marry Chrom, and it's just, like, come on, there are other female avatar pairings, and some of them are actually quite good. Like, I personally really like female avatar in Kellum. Since this was a short map, I'm going to go back to the Somniel. I don't think I'll be doing any support in the Somniel, but I'm going to just be maybe leveling up Aaliyah's bond with Lucina a little bit, just to kind of get that in here. And of course, speaking of my playthrough, I do owe quite a lot to Awakening because, Awakening was the series that really launched my channel. Like, I was pretty unknown until I covered Awakening, and, like, just like with the way, like, how successful Awakening was, I was not expecting my Awakening playthrough to get as much views as it did. Like, I really did not expect it to do so well. And yeah, there's a lot about it that I don't think has aged well, and a lot about it that I do differently. Like, I had bad mic quality, I made some mistakes in the bios. Back then, we still thought Virion was voiced by Dan Warren, when he's not, and that Sumia was voiced by Daniel Judovitz, when she was actually Eden Regal all along, so some info in there is outdated, and, like, to be honest, I actually kind of regret the Mary Sue thing looking back as well, but, that's kind of a whole topic I might have to cover another day, because it's very complicated, but let's just say that, like, overall I do feel like a bad self-insert fan character is ultimately harmless in the grand scheme of things, whereas I just feel like the term Mary Sue has just been very politicized these days to mean any woke female character I don't like, and it's just kind of lost sight of anyway. Anyway, again, that's a topic that's for a completely different discussion, But yeah, I had fun playing Awakening, like, playing through it. I really, really did. I also will say about the Mary Sue thing, I really don't want to get the impression that I wanted to bash Chrom Robin fans, and that because, like, even to this day, I don't like Chrom and Robin as a pairing, and I'm not a huge fan of Robin as a character, but I don't have anything against people who ship it. It's more that I was just trying to carry on a joke with my new Mystery of the Emblem playthrough, and that, you know, the avatars did feel like self-insert fanfic characters in the early days. They didn't really have a lot of established personality back then, so it was just kind of a whole running gag that I had. But yeah, I had fun with it, and again, I was not really expecting it to be as popular. And I've seen some people, like, in the comments here who, like, are coming back to watch me with Engage because they remember that playthrough, and that's really nice, honestly. My overall thoughts on Awakening as a game, though, are kind of, well, I wouldn't say weird, but, like, to a lot of people, and I feel like it's similar to Persona 5, to a lot of people, Awakening is like this magical video game. Like, it's just something just really, truly special, and it's special to me too, but in a different way. I've always viewed Awakening as just another Fire Emblem game. It's a good Fire Emblem game, but, like, I'd never really, you know, like, put it on a huge pedestal, and I do think that it's overall good but flawed. I've said it before, like, all the way back then, and I'll still say it again. My personal view of Fire Emblem Awakening as a game is incredibly similar to how I feel about Disney's Frozen, and that movie came out at basically the same time, back in 2013. Is that, like, I don't really think it deserves the enormous praise that it gets, and I'm not really sure exactly why it exploded as much in terms of success. But at the same time, I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as the detractors make it out to be, either. I consider it overall good but flawed. And that's actually the same way that I view Persona 5 as well. Like, both of them occupy very similar points in the fan base to me. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and level up Aaliyah with Lucina.
I'll be your opponent.
And we'll be seeing
Lucina, Princess of Elise, has arrived.
Lucina's a bond conversation with Aaliyah. Wow, Aaliyah's actually doing pretty well. I guess finally he's gonna make good on his promise to show her his all.
I'm lost?
Somehow I won.
Oh, I love the Martial Master attack animations in this game.
Thank you for the hope you showed me back then. If not for you, I might have given up.
I only gave you a small push. You'll be carving your own future for yourself.
Yeah, the way Lucina's characterized in this game is pretty good. I guess I could also give my thoughts on Lucina as a character, and it's actually very similar to how I feel about Awakening as a whole. I'm a little put off by the sheer amount of hype she gets from her waifu fanbase. Like, a lot of them I just feel are... they can get a little excessive, just like all waifu and husbandor fans sometimes. And oftentimes they kind of misunderstand... Well, not so much misunderstand, but they kind of boil her character down to, oh, boo-hoo, my future's so bad, and I'm just crying all the time, so male Robin can comfort me.
I'm lost?
Again, I swear
Somehow
I have
I
nothing
won.
against, like, shippers. It's the really excessive shippers that I have something against. But I think she's a fine character.
I worry sometimes if we're really capable of winning this war.
I know things can seem bleak, but as long as you hold out hope, you can drive the dark away.
And I used to think she was better than Chrom as a character, and I kind of wish that she was the main lord, not him, which is kind of a sentiment that this game's echoing, given that she's representing Awakening, at least outside of DLC. In Awakening itself, you could lose Lucina in battle and not get a game over. Like, she wasn't really technically a main character at all. Anyway, the real reason I was doing this is this is a lot of bond fragments, but dual support on Aaliyah with Lucina as a key adept, I think is worth it. Because Aaliyah supports everyone.
I'll be your opponent.
And I probably would have already gone
I'm
into this
Lucina.
in the Lucina mini
Spar with
bio.
me.
Well, I guess Lucina's finally gonna get payback. She was like, oh, okay, I'll bring out the big guns.
You're as strong as I expected.
Strong as I expected, after I beat you twice. But yeah, now I honestly think Chrom's a better character than I originally gave him credit for. I just feel like he gets upstaged by Robin and Lucina towards the end. I kind of wish that he sort of did more. Like, the ideological conflict between him and Walhart was really good in theory. It's just like, Walhart is totally filler. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get some bond fragments from Somi off-screen, but that is the end of our first Emblem paralogue. I hope you've enjoyed, and also I hope you've enjoyed my overall thoughts on Awakening and my experience with it. And I'll see you next time for not a Somnial part. We're going to be heading straight to the next main chapter, where we'll be getting a new emblem. And it's one I'm really looking forward to. See you all then.